I'm pleased to be here as your MC of today's program, and we want to welcome the Detroit Tigers and their staff on their winter caravan to Kalamazoo and Western Michigan. In just a few weeks, the Tigers report to Lakeland for spring training in preparation for the start of another baseball season, which opens April 5th at Comerica Park against the Boston Red Sox. For those of you that don't know, I'm a baseball guy. I played it as a young person. I coached summer baseball for many years in this area. Baseball's in my blood, and I'm sure it's the same way for all of you today. That's why we have a packed house and a sold-out crowd for this event. Baseball's the greatest game on the planet. Baseball is a group of individual talents that together comprise a team with the goal of reaching the World Series. Baseball is green grass and red dirt. Baseball features an assortment of shapes and sizes, dimension and distance. It's 60 feet 6 inches, or 420 to dead center. Baseball has gaps and a 5-hole. It's the only untimed team sport played with rhythm and pace that allows for constant conversation and analysis. Baseball is a collection of stats like WHIP, OBP, RBI, and ERA. It's the only game where the defense has the ball, and there's always a winner, or at least hope for next year if you're a Cub fan. It's the crack of the bat and the smack of the bullpen catcher's mitt. It's a hot dog. It's the smell of brats on the grill. It's a bag of peanuts. And if you're 21, a cold beer on a sweltering day. Or maybe 2. In baseball, you have a hot corner, a twin killing, a round tripper, and a cleanup guy. You have fireballing right-handers, and you have crafty left-handers. And if you have a fireballing left-hander, you've got something special. There's slick fielding shortstops, and there's a big bopper in left field. In baseball, you have an ace, you have a closer, and you have middle relief. Speed on the bases and collisions at home plate. Baseball's a frosty opening day in early April, and a balmy day-night doubleheader in late July. It's pitchers and catchers reporting in February. Baseball's enough to warm your soul on a 12-degree day in January, because we all know it's only a few weeks away. Baseball, the greatest game on the planet. I'm glad to live in a baseball town here in Kalamazoo and at Western Michigan University. We've been playing the game for a long time. Kalamazoo was home for longtime Detroit Tiger owner and broadcasting pioneer John Fetzer. Himes Field was the original site of the College World Series. We've had a lot of great players from this area like Derek Jeter and Charlie Pawpaw Maxwell. We've had some legendary coaches like Charlie Marr and Fred Decker, the all-time winningest coach in Western Michigan history. Following the big hand for Fred. Following the 2010 season, our athletic director, Catherine Beauregard, began a search for a new leader for our baseball team, someone who would restore pride in our program here at Western Michigan and put together teams that would regularly compete for championships in the Mid-American Conference. In his first season, he led the Broncos to 26 wins, a 14-win turnaround from the previous year. That was the 10th best turnaround in the nation with over 300 Division I teams. Included in those 26 wins was a 2-game sweep over 2011 Big Ten regular season champion Michigan State. Broncos also had conference series sweeps over Akron, Ball State, and Ohio. He guided the Broncos into the MAC tournament for the first time since 2008 and picked up the program's first postseason win since 1998. And that postseason win came last May against Central Michigan. Our first speaker, the head baseball coach at WMU, Billy Gernon.
Let me first of all say what a privilege it is to be the head baseball coach at Western Michigan University. The only regret that I have is that I'm not an alum, or that I didn't have the opportunity to play for Coach Decker. But we talk about harbingers of spring often being snow melting and green grass. Today the harbinger of the spring is the Detroit Tigers being here, and the fact that we open up in 30 days at Arizona State. So even though there's snow on the ground, there's a lot to get excited for, and what an enthusiastic crowd we have here today. And as we attach ourselves to excellence, our distinguished alum and David Dombrowski, co-CEO of the year, Major League Baseball by Sporting News. What an honor for him, and no surprise that I think Detroit Tigers' success from top down reflects on what we're trying to do here at Western Michigan University, and it starts here with our president, John Dunn, who leads this organization from the top down just like Dave Dombrowski does. And we're all chasing championships, whether that be academic, athletic, or community service, either way. It's a great privilege for me to stand here in front of everybody. I always talk about being a coach is an opportunity, and you need to embrace that. At this time, let me introduce our baseball team, our 2012 Western Michigan Broncos right here. I'm long-winded. I told our SID I had to spend an hour preparing only to speak 3 minutes, and I hardly ever prepare to speak for 30 minutes. So I got to keep it short, but I did share with our athletic director, Kathy Beauregard, up until about 10 days ago, we were going to redevise our recruiting plan and start recruiting Kalamazoo as a warm-weather school. But since 10 days ago, that has all changed. As President Dunn let me know, there's another storm coming tomorrow. But what a great pleasure to be here. I would just like to encourage you and invite you to come out and support our players that work so hard in those three areas, in the class and on the field and in our community. Our home venues will include Michigan State and Michigan Wolverines, and you know they're coached by former Hall of Famer and alum Rich Maloney. It's going to be a great season. We're very fortunate that the Himes Field renovation and the great donation from Robert J. Bob happened. We're recipients of many great things, and we take great pride in the fact that we're going to chase a MAC championship with every ounce of energy that we have. We appreciate you coming out, and we hope to see you this spring at some of the Western Michigan Bronco baseball games. Go Broncos!
Billy Gernon. Our next speaker became the 8th president of WMU in July of '07. He's generated a new energy on campus through his direction and initiatives. His vision, support, and leadership skills have resulted in a total transformation of WMU in the past 4.5 years. He's all over campus, the community, all over the state, the country, and abroad as the #1 ambassador for Western Michigan University and our great students. Please welcome for his remarks the president of WMU, John Dunn.
How about a nice round of applause for Robin? What a great job. Thank you, Robin. As you all know, we're very proud on this campus of always saying it's a great day to be a Bronco. Hey, let's say that. It's a great day to be a Bronco. It's also a great day to be a Tiger, right? Michigan's our state. The Detroit Tigers are our team. You're all here to help acknowledge that. We're so proud of the fact that the Caravan has included us over so many years right here in Kalamazoo to come and help kick off the season for them and for all of us to get behind the Tigers. Robin talked about his baseball career. Mine was very, very short. At about age 11, after having struck out for the umpteenth time playing Little League Baseball, I brought new life to the heart of my coach when I exclaimed that the bat was simply too short. He said he'd heard all the excuses, but never that one. And he's still alive today at some 94 years of age and tells a story about the bat being too short. This is a great game, and if you've ever wondered about the basic intellect of a baseball player, think about the physics of baseball. What a phenomenal skill it is to be able to see a baseball released from a pitcher, a batter swing at it, hit it, and on the basis of that sound, an outfielder to know, I got to run like crazy, because the trajectory of that is way over here. That is another form of intelligence, and it's a very, very important one. We're so proud to be home to this event today. Thank you for this great, great turnout. It's so important. Leadership is very important. Dave Dombrowski is one of us. Dave Dombrowski is a Bronco. We're really proud of that. And he was a pretty fine athlete, but he was a much, much better student in our College of Business, and he was also an honor student at this university. And so we're very, very proud of Dave and the work that he's doing, the fact that he remembers his roots, he remembers Kalamazoo, Western Michigan University. We're going to have a chance later to give him a nice round of applause. And please join me in welcoming the Tigers, but also Dave Dombrowski. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for being here.
Well, Western Michigan University is filled with an exceptional faculty and exceptional students from all over the world. Our music department is renowned, loaded with outstanding talent. Here to sing the Star Spangled Banner and a familiar baseball tune to set the mood, please welcome from WMU, the Broncoids.
If you all would stand, and gentlemen, please remove your caps. This is going to be the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the Tigers. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Go Tigers!
The Broncoids. Thanks, guys. The 2011 Tigers put together a memorable season that included American League Central Division title, a postseason divisional series victory over the New York Yankees. And a berth in the American League Championship Series. It was a season that produced individual honors too, including a batting title, a Cy Young Award, and an American League MVP. The Tigers are back contending, and it's extra special for us here at WMU, as President Dunn mentioned, because the architect of the Tigers' success is one of our own, WMU alum, Detroit Tiger President and GM Dave Dombrowski. Here's a video looking back at the 2011 Detroit Tigers season. Please enjoy.
it seems like it's packed every night to me, to be honest with you. So it's been great, and I think we put on a pretty good show for them, and hopefully there's better things to come.
The fans, they've been like really supportive, very loud. We like loud.
Rally towels are out at Comerica Park. It's a sight to see.
Into the Monsignor at home, delivers the winner. How about it?
The fans have been great, obviously, all year, and you feel that energy, and you kind of feed off that.
It's unbelievable when we have fans like that, you know, they make you play better. I need to say thank you to them.
Here's the throw to the plate. The tag. Got it. Ball game's over.
He's starting to feel it out there. Lots of Tiger fans here, as there always are. Everybody taking a big, deep breath right now. The skipper hasn't moved. Pitch out away. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander has done it again. A second no-hitter in his young career.
Welcome to the 82nd All-Star Game.
And strike three. And out. A two-home-run night for Brett Bosch.
The Tigers need one more out. Bouncing ball left side. Brandon Hansen. His throw across the diamond in time. They've done it. The Tigers have done it. They are champions of the American League Central Division for 2011.
What a year, what a team. Just amazing what this team has done. Here it is in Division Series. The Tigers against the Yankees.
And this ballpark and these fans are ready.
There it goes. Back-to-back home runs for the Tigers. Valverde deals, and a swing and a miss.
The Tigers have done what you thought they could, and they beat the New York Yankees.
I wish all of them wouldn't have done so good, because it makes it look like anybody can manage this team. So.
You ready? Tigers ready? Here they come. Here they come. My pleasure now to introduce the radio play-by-play voice of the Tigers. He's with us here today. Began his career in Grand Rapids before moving to WJR in Detroit. He's won many awards during his illustrious career, including being named Michigan Sportscaster of the Year in 2005 and 2006 by the National Sportscasters and Sports Writers Association. He's been in the Tiger broadcast booth since 2000, and will begin his 9th season as the lead play-by-play voice of the Tigers this spring. My pleasure to introduce a true pro in sports broadcasting, the radio voice of the Tigers, Dan Dickerson.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you. What a great turnout. This is kind of the unofficial start to our season. It's a time when fans get to think some warm thoughts in January and February as they think about a season starting 1 month from now when pitchers and catchers report. I think those are the sweetest words for baseball fans, especially in northern climates. When they hear pitchers and catchers report, broadcasters report about a week later. and then the season gets underway at the beginning of March. But we love getting out, seeing fans like you. These are the best fans in the world when you look at how Comerica Park is filled summer night after summer night. The end of last season, the players have talked about it so often. Those crowds down the stretch, the crowds during the postseason. The players talk about it and they get chills. For a lot of them, it was their first time experiencing the postseason. And they kept mentioning how great those crowds were and how much it lifted them up. Today, you're going to get a chance to see not only some of the players you're familiar with, but this is something we see on the Caravan every year. These are some of the future Tigers that you may not be familiar with, but you may see down the road. Did somebody bump into a switch? Should I just start? There we go. But a chance to see some of the future Tigers as well, and that's part of the fun part of this Caravan, is that they get exposure to see you guys and get out to see some of the fans throughout the state of Michigan. So without further ado, let's meet your 2012 Detroit Tigers. We start with the Tigers president, CEO, general manager, and proud Western Michigan University Bronco, Dave Dombrowski. From the coaching staff, infield coach Rafael Belliard. First base coach Tommy Brookins. Tigers pitching coach Jeff Jones. And Tigers bullpen coach Mike Rojas. Tigers players catcher Alex Avila. Tigers pitcher Dwayne Bilo. Tigers reliever Joaquin Benoit. Tigers starting pitcher Casey Crosby. Tigers third baseman Brandon Inge. Tigers infielder, outfielder, sometime catcher Don Kelly. Tigers starting pitcher Rick Porcello. Tigers infielder, outfielder Ryan Rayburn. Tigers reliever Daniel Schlereth. Tigers outfielder Cleet Thomas. Starting pitcher Jacob Turner. Pitcher Adam Wilk. Infielder Danny Worth. And Tigers outfielder Delman Young. Where'd Dave go? Is he down here? Well, he's coming up now, I guess. Thank you for that very nice welcome. Well, it's my pleasure now to invite to the podium the President, CEO, General Manager of the Detroit Tigers, recently named by the Sporting News as the 2011 Major League Baseball Co-Executive of the Year, and most importantly, Western Michigan University Class of '78, Mr. Dave Dombrowski.
Well, thank you, Dan. Good afternoon to everybody. It is absolutely great to be back here at Western. It always is. Graduated in '78. Of course, it hasn't changed a bit, you know, since I last left. It looks exactly the same. But some of my fondest memories in life are associated with being here at Western Michigan University. When you think back, and you have so many memories in life that you go forward, and so many of them here, and we'll talk about the baseball aspect of it, that shape your life, and you have so many family memories. But when you go back and see where it started, well, this is where it started for me. And I was pulling up here, and I looked, and we were driving up. Many of you don't know this, that Ellsworth Hall used to actually be a place where some of us used to live. And I was one of them. And I could see my old room, my first room over here, from my sophomore year in school as we pulled up. Took that walk many times through the campus, and then we switched over to the apartment complexes. But when I came here, you come here as a person that you don't know where life is going. You really have no idea where life has taken you. And sometimes you're fortunate that you make the right decisions and things turn out well, and sometimes they don't. But for me, coming to Western Michigan University couldn't have been a better decision. It turned out that set really the stage for the rest of my life. Because when you come here, you come, first of all, you're trying, believe it or not, because I know there's a lot of students in here, believe it or not, you do come here to get an education, not just have fun. We had a lot of fun too. I mean, but you come here to get an education. And my education here was phenomenal. And there's no question it got my foot in the door. And a couple people that were really influential in that, I was in the honors college, and I had to write an undergraduate thesis to graduate. And my undergraduate thesis was entitled "The General Manager, the Man in the Middle," which basically traced the development of the general manager's position from the beginning of baseball to the present time. At that time, the present time was in the early 70s, mid-70s. And you were in a position where night baseball, air travel, all of the basic agreement, all of those things affected it. Well, the person that assisted me, I'll be forever thankful for, because I was an accounting major, and it was recommended to me to be an accounting major to try to get into baseball, to have that type of background. Because I was telling somebody, believe it or not, when I started in 1978 with the Chicago White Sox organization, we didn't have a budget. There was no budget. One of my first jobs, even though I was in the baseball end of the operation, they told me to put together a budget. And if you're an accounting student and you do all right, putting together a budget's pretty simple. But it's amazing what that allowed me to learn, because everything in the organization at that point came across my desk and had to be approved and categorized. And the person, and I don't know if he's here or not, but he is here, that helped me. Well, there he is. I see him over right there. Is David Rozelle. David, if you could please stand up. He was. He helped me every step of the way. And then the other person, and again, I'm not sure that he's here, and I've told the story, but I'll tell it quickly. But I always wanted to get into baseball. And people will ask me, well, how'd you get started? When did you want to get in? And I said, you know, it's really weird, because I played all three sports. I played football, basketball, baseball when I was younger, did all right in sports. And when I was in 8th grade, I was always fascinated by player transactions and trades, and I just loved that portion of the game. And I still played and did all right, and somebody in 8th grade was doing a paper. And they asked me, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? What type of job do you want to do? And everybody said, well, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist. I said, I want to be a general manager of a Major League Baseball team. And this girl said, get out of here. Give me something that's serious that I can write down and put down there. So that was my dream, but I also loved playing. And I went away. I played baseball and football through high school, and then I went away and actually played football my freshman year in college, and then I transferred over here to Western, and I had to sit out a year. And the person that at that time gave me the biggest start to my career, when I tried out my junior year after sitting out, and it was one of those tryouts where you have all these people that attend, that I've seen many, many of them, and you just kind of run the guys in there, was the head baseball coach at that time. Because he gave me the impetus to start my career at 21 years of age in the front office, because he basically said, Dombrowski, you're not good enough to make the team. And that was Fred Decker, the baseball coach. So he's the other person that I really thank all the time for getting me started with my career. But when you start, you get your education. The other thing is, too, is you'll bring lasting memories of the friends that you make here. And you may not realize it, but those are bonds that you have the rest of your life. And the opportunity that we had at Western to do that, my best friends are still from my college days here. And the person who is the godfather to my two children and it was the best man in my wedding was my roommate here at Western Michigan. And he still lives in Kalamazoo, and he's here, my friend Sam Accorso, my best friend. So after many years of in baseball, I want to at least touch upon, because this is such a special time for the Detroit Tigers to come here. And it's amazing how life takes you back to where really you started. I'm from the Chicagoland area, but coming to the Tigers organization, when I was offered the job to work for the Tigers and I was doing some research on which job to take at that time, I called another one of my old college roommates. His name is Mark Malott, and I just so happened that one of his best friends and his wife's best friends is named Ken Holland, who happens to be the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings. And I called Ken, and I did not know him at all, just to get some background about sports here in Detroit and working for the organization. So all of a sudden, after all those years in baseball, you end up working with the club with the Detroit Tigers, where I went to school in the state. And as you know, when we first started, we weren't very good. I was reminded the other night at a banquet that we had in Grand Rapids, a person inducted into the Hall of Fame. There was a guy who played for us in 2003 by the name of Matt Walbeck, who did a real fine job managing for us and played a little while. And at the end of that 2003 season, we said to him, brought him in, and Wally was a backup catcher. He had a lot of years in the big leagues, over 9 actually. Couldn't hit a lick though anymore at that point in his career. And Alan Trammell, our manager at the time, and I brought him. Yeah, go ahead, Tram, wonderful. I'm still not sure why he and Jack Morris aren't in the Hall of Fame. I'm still scratching my head, and they should be. But we brought him into Tram's office the last day of the season and said, Wally, we really don't have a spot for you to play next year, but we'd like you to come and manage in our organization. And he said, you know, I was kind of caught by surprise. I really didn't know it. And he said, I left the ballpark and I called my wife, and he says, you know what? They offered me this job to manage, and if I can't play for a club that lost 119 games, I sure better go and manage. So we took a lot of strides since then, to the point where we've been in a World Series in 2006. And last year, which to me was just a tremendous year for us, won 95 ball games in the Central Division Crown. It was a lot of fun. Our fans, which are fantastic, we drew over 2.6 people. I don't think you'll find better fans anywhere than Detroit Tiger fans. We are a team embraced within the state, within the region, not just the city. You have people come from all over to see us play. This year our season tickets are phenomenal. We're in a position where we have an owner in Mike Ilitch that's as fine an owner as there is in the game of baseball. He wants to win, believe me. And we also have a manager that's as fine as there is in the game of baseball, and Jim Leland. And they set the foundation, Jim with his coaching staff. But when you look at our group of players and you say they won 95 games, We went to the ALCS. Well, there's still a burning desire to do more. And we have that fire. When you look at it, you can start with the starting pitching staff. Anytime you have the AL MVP and the Cy Young Award winner heading your staff and Justin Verlander, you know you're in fine shape. With Justin and then 4 established starters right now between Max Scherzer, Doug Fister, and the gentleman that's up here, Rick Porcello. We have a fine bullpen led by our relief pitcher of the year, all-star. And again, I've said this before, I know he keeps you on the edge of your seats in Papa Grande. But that's sort of the closer's job. You got to remember that. He was 49 for 49 during the regular season. It doesn't get any better than that. So it's going to happen. But we also have a bullpen that's deep. Joaquin Benoit, the best setup guy in baseball here tonight. Other members in our bullpen that we think do a good job. And a lot of people keep asking me, well, what about the 5th starter? What about the 5th starter? Well, we have some candidates and some real good candidates that are younger that I think will step up and can do the job. They're friends today and they'll be friends tomorrow, but a lot of them are sitting up here that are going to be competing for that job with some other guys. But when you look at it, that's what the game is all about. You're in a position where you compete, you have talented individuals, and we have a good situation because we have 4 established starters and a good bullpen, so it can take the pressure off that individual in the 5th spot. So it's always, as we say, let the best man win the job, and let's go about and see what happens there. But we have some great candidates for that. Then you start positional player-wise, and you look at the ball club. And you can start with the batting champion at first base, as fine a hitter in the game of baseball, and Miguel Cabrera. And we were dealt a blow, and I'll mention it because people are asking when Victor Martinez got hurt, and he is a very good player and an integral part of our ball club, and we will miss him. However, good clubs have to be resilient, and we have a resilient group of guys. And the other thing is not only do we have a resilient group of guys, we have a talented group of guys that have a chance to continue to get better because they are younger in their careers. And you can start over here with the all-star catcher and Silver Slugger and Alex Avilo. And then you look at the outfield, and with Brennan Bosch, a young guy that could continue to be better, and Austin Jackson, to me, should be a Gold Glove Award winner. And then also people will say, well, yeah, he's young, and he is young. But our left fielder, Indelman Young, is going to have a huge year for us. He did drive in 112 runs a couple years ago and hit 5 postseason home runs. So you start looking at that group of guys, and then our infield as you go through, we have some flexibility there. We're in a spot where at second base right now we have Ryan Rayburn and Ramon Santiago. Ryan has that flexibility to move to the outfield, and that's why right now we do have some flexibility with our ball club. We have an all-star shortstop in Johnny Peralta. And at third base, you can debate how you want, because some people say, this guy, they're going to platoon, who's going to win the job and all that. But I will start because he's done such a fine job and with us for a long time. He dealt with some issues last year, but came back later in the year and did great for us. Brandon Inge. And we're also fortunate to have guy Donnie Kelly, who did a great job for us last year. can play third, outfield, and hit that big home run in the ninth inning, and the first inning in Game 5 there in New York. It was, and of course the guy that hit back-to-back, it started off pretty good. But I don't know about you, but that was about as tense as I've been at a ball game in a long time. And then don't discount. I mean, you got guys here like Danny Worth and Cleet Thomas, all guys, very valuable players that are talented individuals. So we're really looking forward to the upcoming year. People keep asking me to make predictions. I've learned a long time ago that that's not the way it goes about. It's all settled on the field. But we have a group that will take care of business. We have a good group of guys that are talented, a good farm system, great management and coaching staff, and we're in a position that, believe me, nobody will be satisfied until we win 6 more postseason games this coming year. So thank you for having us.
I think these fans are looking forward to those 6 more wins. We got some questions from the audience, and we appreciate all of those of you who filled out a card for a question. We'll keep Dave here for one of those questions. And Dave, I know the answer to this might be long, but I thought the way it was asked was interesting, and maybe you could at least touch on it. How does a trade come about? Phone calls, or do you make a lowball offer and then negotiate?
Well, that's a great question. I love to lowball every offer, and then I end up taking that deal. There's no set answer to that. And I think that sometimes, believe it or not, it's one phone call and you make a deal, but normally that doesn't happen. And you end up knowing the general managers and who you're dealing with. I find that generally you're better off being pretty direct. Sometimes you know that the first offer, depending upon the general manager, they're going to ask you for more, so you maybe don't offer quite your top hand. But I think getting a knowledge of every individual and dealing with that and being prepared and knowing where you're going to go with the deal are the most important things. So, and again, every one of them is different. Before I sit down, I just want to say one thing, is that this spring, we have what we call a mini camp where our top prospects are in camp, and they are going to play, I believe, is it March 6th is the date? March 6th, they are going to play the baseball team at Western Michigan University in Lakeland. And I think it catch some people by surprise because it even caught Coach Gernon. So if you're planning your alumni, we're going to play that game on our main field that day. So it's going to play at Joker Marchett Stadium. So if you want, I know the game's scheduled for 1 o'clock that afternoon. They'll be playing on the main diamond. Our club is away that day, the Big League Club. So come on out and watch us play. A lot of the people, I mean, that have become good friends, and President Dunn and Jamie and Kathy, they'll be there, and some of them will be there. But come out and see them play against some of our better young players. Thank you.
So our first question, Justin Verlander eats Taco Bell. What are your superstitions? Does anyone sacrifice a chicken, or is that just the Cleveland Indians from Major League? Why don't we start, anybody have some good superstitions? Alex, you're closest to the microphone. We're going to start with you, and if you don't have any particular ones, maybe you could point us in the right direction as to who might.
Well, I'm probably going to disappoint you here. I don't have any superstitions. I think most guys stick to a routine as far as what helps them prepare for each game. But there's no sacrificing of chickens or voodoo that really goes on, at least in our clubhouse from what I've seen. But we do have some characters on the team. I think Papa Grande, everybody sees him. He's got a lot of different superstitions and a strange routine that he kind of goes through. But for the most part, we're from what I hear, we're pretty tame in the clubhouse as far as superstitions.
Everybody knows Justin Verlander doesn't seem to talk to anybody on the day of his start. He's walking around with the ubiquitous headphones on his head. Does he talk to you?
We talk one time before we go out into the field, and that's just to go over the hitters and the scouting reports, and that's about 15 minutes, and that's the most he talks to anybody
the whole day.
The whole day until he goes out into the field.
Brandon, do you have any superstitions and/or routine, or know of anybody who's got an interesting routine day of a game?
No, I'm not much on superstitions either. Obviously, you already said Valverde is. On the mound, he's the most superstitious person I've ever seen. When he comes in, my favorite part, and you can watch for this now, I'm sure you guys already know it anyway. Well, he stands on the back of the mound, and my favorite part is when he's looking down and he slaps his hands together and he spits the gum out. It's all in perfect timing. That's my favorite part. I love that part. And I'm pretty sure he probably sacrificed a chicken too.
Brandon, since you've got the microphone, we did have a question for you. One of the kids in the audience saw a thing on SportsCenter. It told the story of how you promised 2 different kids home runs and then actually gave them to those kids. Is that true?
Yes, it is. That was kind of, I had someone watching over me, I guess, on those. And it's amazing how when you have a situation like that, how much you really focus. And I didn't even want to do it, but I couldn't really tell a kid no at that point. They were both sick kids in the hospital, and one unfortunately passed away at this point. But the other, he's doing well with the heart transplant, and he's moving on, doing well. But both probably the most touching things that have ever happened to me in baseball. It was pretty cool, and very fortunate it was able to happen and work out for him.
This question is from 7-year-old Braden, and I think this is always good for young people to hear from major leaguers, soon-to-be major leaguers. What age did you start playing, and what advice would you have for a young man who wants to play for the Tigers? Maybe start at this end. Delman, if you, is there a microphone at this end of the table?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I think for me, I was just I wanted to be just like my brother, so I always carried a bat around, and I just was always involved with baseball. I started playing at 4 years old, and all I wanted to do was just baseball. I'll go out in the backyard, just throw the ball to myself and swing, or just take my glove and throw a ball against the wall, or go with my buddies and go play over the line in the backyard. But you know, I was in California, so I can go outside every day and do baseball activities. So for a kid out here, and just watch as many games as possible, understand the game, learn the game, and practice whenever you get an opportunity, because you got to love the game, because when you go to minor leagues, it's not glorious. It's not fun at all. So the best part about the minor leagues is getting the phone call to the big leagues, and you know, it's a lot of fun. But you know, you pay your dues down in the minor leagues, and in high school, college, and you sacrifice your time. Instead of going out hanging out with your buddies, you wake up early, go to the weight room, or you know, study film, or do stuff that's going to help you get to where you want to be later in life.
All right, thank you, Delman. Rick, you got a microphone in front of you. Can you just answer the same question?
Yeah, I think you know, for me, I had 2 brothers growing up, and we were always playing wiffle ball or ball outside in the backyard, and you know, we just grew to love it and compete against each other. And I think the most important thing, you know, as a young kid, is to not burn yourself out and put too much stress on yourself trying to get better. Just enjoy the game and enjoy playing, and that love that you'll develop is going to drive you to work hard and you know, accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish.
All right. We'll pass the microphone to Don. This is really for Don Kelly and for Ryan Rayburn. Somebody wants to know how many gloves you guys have as you get ready to play just about any position anywhere. And somebody specifically, Don, wanted to know, were you surprised that you played every position but shortstop last year since you came up as a shortstop?
Yeah, that's interesting. Didn't get to play short last year or second, but you know, I enjoy doing it. I carry 5 gloves with me, so I think that I have the biggest travel bag besides Alex, I think. But it's fun. You know, it keeps me busy during BP, moving around, preparing for all the different positions, and I really enjoy it.
Did you enjoy catching last year?
I enjoyed doing it. I didn't enjoy waking up Sunday morning trying to walk to the bathroom, but yeah, it was fun.
Used some different muscles, did you?
Yeah, that was the knees didn't work too well.
And Ryan, how many gloves do you have?
I don't have near as many gloves as he's got, but I only got a outfield and infield glove. I'm not too superstitious about a third base, second base, all that stuff. And the few times I'll probably play first, I just borrow McGill's. So, but no, I think Donnie's the first utility guy I've seen carry an extra catcher's gear around too. So that was that's fortunate for me. I don't have to carry it.
Do you have dreams of catching someday?
Not at this age, no. Maybe when I was younger, I thought about doing it, but after seeing the way Brandon moves around now and Donnie after that one game, I think I'm gonna shut it down.
Brandon, you have 2 minutes for a rebuttal.
You didn't have to come wipe the snot out of my nose. I was drinking when you said that, man. Give me a warning or something.
For Jacob Turner, some people would like to know your experience last year, how that helped you, and are you ready for the starting rotation?
Yeah, I think anytime you can pitch at the highest level, it's going to obviously benefit you. So going into spring training, I've been working hard, and hopefully I'll have a good spring, and that's really what I'm focused on, just ready for the season. And I think that, like I said, anytime that you can face the highest level of competition, it's always going to make you better.
All right, back to the other end down here, and Alex, someone wanted to know what your favorite thing to do is in the off season.
Well, I'm a bit of an outdoorsman. I like to hunt and fish. Growing up in South Florida, I would do a lot of offshore fishing. That's probably my first passion. And going to school in Alabama, I was introduced to hunting whitetail deer, and something that I love to do every hunting season now.
All right. Rick, this is for you. What's your favorite stadium to pitch in, and how do you adjust to the different ballparks when you leave home?
I'd say my favorite ballpark to pitch in is Comerica. I mean, it's 420 feet to center field, so you give up a homer there, and they really got you. But I think preparing in different ballparks, you can't get outside of your game plan. You got to pitch, the same way everywhere, and not let certain parks have shorter fences or the ball travels better there, and that stuff can't affect you. You just got to stick with your game plan and go after them.
And how much did it help to experience that postseason for the first time? And we think of that game against Texas and how good that was.
Yeah, I mean, the postseason was incredible. The electricity at Comerica Park with everybody waving the white towels, and it's something that I'll never forget. And the ALCS against Texas was a great series, and that just hopefully we get back there and achieve our goal, which is winning a World Series.
And why don't we talk real quickly, our last question. Thank you, Rick. Just maybe a couple of guys weighing in on the challenge of repeating. And Delman, I know we asked you yesterday, but I think you're a good person to talk to this just because you've been on teams that have been challenged to repeat. And it's not easy, is it?
No, it's never easy. But the benefit when I was in Minnesota was Gardenhire preached to us. We had to take care of a home field advantage. Win the ball games at your home field, and you got to win against your division. The only way you can win your division is to beat the teams in your division, and for the 81 games at home, have a winning record at home, and then you always have an opportunity to be in a pennant race. But it's never to look too early. January, February, March, even all the way up to the season, because we always said if we're within 7 games by the All-Star break, we still have a chance to be there by the end of the season. And so with this group of guys, everyone's relaxed, and then when you got Justin Verlander going game 1 to start the season, he's going to set the tone for the rest of the year, and I'm pretty confident he's going to go out there and have a great year, and it's going to filter down from the rest of the pitchers into the rest of the position players.
All right. And maybe hear from at this end of the table, Joaquin Benoit. You've been on some division winners, including the Tigers and Tampa. Just talk about, from your perspective, the challenge of trying to repeat.
Well, for me, I think it's more to be consistent the whole time. I mean, the teams that are consistent most of the times are going to go to the postseason. And basically what we did last year is in Tampa we win and we got crushed in the first round. This year, being my second consecutive postseason, we went to the second round. Well, this is the third year. We'll see what happens.
I like that. And on that note, thank you to all of you guys for answering all these questions, and thank you for your questions. And it's now my pleasure to invite back to the podium Dr. John Dunn, the president of Western Michigan University, as well as Tigers president, CEO, general manager, David Dombrowski, for a special presentation.
Well, we are very thankful to be here today, and we wanted to express some of that appreciation to President Dunn for everything he did to make that happen, as well as for what he does to Western Michigan. And so we thought giving him a Detroit Tigers jersey with and we're going to look for him to wear that at the World Series this year.
And we'd like all of you to join with us in acknowledging our good friends, the Tigers here, for a great season, but also our general manager and CEO with a little jersey that reminds you of your great years at Western Michigan University. So...
Hope you wanted all this so we could all
I was going to put it on. I mean, gee.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Tom, you want to help pick a number? Sure. We've got some great prizes for 4 fans who are here today. Compliments of the Tigers. If you're a winner, please come up and receive your prize. And Ryan, you want to help hand out the various prizes we have today? Yeah. Right here. First prize is a fan pack of Detroit Tigers memorabilia, which includes an autographed picture, Tigers t-shirt, some other fun Tigers items.
The big. This one?
Yep. Tommy Brookins has picked out number 274. 274, are you present? Someone's waving in the back. Come on up, congratulations. Our second prize, a Tigers autographed baseball from Brandon Inge. And it goes to whoever is holding ticket number 130, 130. Must be present to win. 130. She's raising her hands, but I don't think she's got 130. All right, going once, twice, and we'll pick another number, 130, last shot. Instead, it will go to number 554. We had a few folks here today. 554. We have a winner over here? Come on up. Congratulations. Is this the, Champions. A third prize, couple of tickets to a mutually determined home game during this 2012 season. It includes also some access passes to the exclusive Champions Club, which is a terrific place to watch a game from. And it's yours if you have ticket number 609. 609, we got a winner in the back, come on up. And our final prize is a family 4-pack Tickets to a mutually determined home game during the 2012 season with the opportunity to watch batting practice from the field. Always draws oohs and ahs. And you get to go if you have ticket number 312. 312 in the back. Come on up. Congratulations. Thank you, Ryan. Well, that wraps up our program for today. On behalf of the Detroit Tigers, thank you so much for the invitation today. Thanks for having us here. What a great turnout. You made us feel very welcome. We can't wait to provide some excitement during the 2012 season. Let's hear it for the Detroit Tigers.